Hello and welcome to the Sunday Shale Show. My name is Mike Chadsey and today I'm joined by David Gardner. David, how are you today?
Very good, Mike.
Good. Well, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
Now, tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got involved in the oil and gas industry.
I myself, I'm a civil engineer.
Okay.
I graduated from Penn State about 25 years ago, and I was in the heavy highway industry for basically all my life. But I saw the Marcellus play, if you will, in the work that was going on there, and it just seemed like a very, very energetic and very worthwhile industry to get involved with. I was a municipal engineer for the township that I live in previous to this, and through my involvement of writing ordinances and becoming acclimated to the industry, that's how I got involved, and ultimately I changed professions, if you will, and I became a project engineer and project manager initially for Mark West. Now I work with turnkey specialists.
Okay, and turnkey that's the TSI?
Yes.
Okay, and then what specifically do they do?
Engineering consulting firm. They're based out of Houston, Texas.
Okay.
They've been involved in the energy and natural gas industry probably for almost 20 years. They initially started out as an EPC firm. That means engineer, procure, and construct different compressor stations and plants based out of the Southwest area. They wanted to become more of a presence up in the Marcellus Utica area. And so about a month ago, they opened up an office in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And I joined forces with them to become a project engineer and to see how their office could grow in the Pittsburgh, Ohio area.
How many employees do they have sort of?
I would say right now they have about 50 employees under the premise of what defines a large engineering consulting firm. They're actually rather small, but they're very, very good at what they do. And they specialize in midstream engineering, which you would define as plants and, say, compressor stations.
I mean, I think that's what's so interesting. Like here in Ohio, so much of the conversation has been on upstream. Hey, where are we exploring? Where are we drilling? Where are we leasing? And now as we transition or continue that ongoing effort into starting to focus on some of the midstream effort, that's probably where a lot of you folks come involved. Are you seeing kind of a ramp up from that effort moving into midstream?
Now with the Utica play really exploding, of course, more firms, and there's a lot more work going on out here. Initially with the horizontal drilling, but you hit the nail right on the head with regards to the midstream. Because ultimately, what the neighboring communities are going to see long term is the presence of a compressor station, or more importantly, a processing plant.
That's good. Well, and I think what's so key too is for those projects is that rig is going to be up and down and move across the street and up and down and move down the whereas a lot of the facilities that you're specifically talking about, as you just mentioned, are going to be there for the long term, and that's why it's so important to be proactive with our community leaders, our elected officials, our community groups. Say, hey, let me explain some things, let me answer your questions and address your concerns. Are you doing a lot of that activity as well too?
We want to get started doing that, yes, because again, we just opened up our doors not even a month ago. But I can't agree with you more, Mike, with regards to education of the public. During my tenure as a township engineer, I'll just say the word that kept reappearing is, if you will, is fear.
Yeah.
Okay, the fear of the unknown.
Sure.
All right, people that live in the state of, say, Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, New Mexico, the oil and the gas industry has been with them.
Second nature.
Yes. Okay.
Absolutely.
Here, there is an inherent fear because of the unknown. And the more you can go out and be proactive and educate the local administrators, the people that actually make the decisions on the local, and offer public awareness courses, do tours of compressor stations, of drill rigs, things like that. When you do that and you expose the people to that and they actually see it firsthand, I believe, it's been my experience, that fear goes away and you can slowly build confidence. And that's so important for the industry in this area.
It really is. So take me from today, and let's go out 5 or 10 years. Do you have any expectations or things that you may see happen in the next few years here in the Utica development?
Are you saying as far as...
Like on the midstream, I mean, how do you think we're going to ramp up, and what kind of things are going to happen as we slowly move into that next 5 or 10 years down the road?
The best way I can answer that question is if you look at a processing plant as the hub of the spider, okay, and the natural gas lines and pipelines that come in are in essence are the legs, okay. There has to be a certain amount of compressor stations that feed that plant. I know this is very remedial. I'm trying to keep it as simplistic, but
keep
it as simplistic as I can. But so what you're going to see in the next 5 to 10 years is more of the permanent facilities, okay, to service the plants, so that the natural gas and the oil industry can become a permanent fixture with regards to not so much I'm groping for the right word, not so much the industry, but the economy.
Sure.
Okay? Because the more that the industry can grow in here, and the people can get confidence, and they see the compressor station out there, and they've lived next to it for whatever, 2 to 3 to 5 years, when another one goes up, say 7 to 10 miles away, so that fear isn't going to be
They
there.
already understand.
And they already know it. And what you're going to see in the next couple of years is, with regards to the economy, at least in my opinion, is a lot of the ancillary support services, the mom and pop restaurants, the hotels, the gas stations. The impact that that's going to have on these neighboring communities is going to be astounding.
It really is going to be amazing. Going to put a lot of good folks
Yes.
to work. So if folks are interested, if there are companies that want to learn, or folks want to learn a little bit more about you and TSI, is there a website, a phone number, somewhere where they can go to kind of check
Yes,
into it? What is that?
Well, it's if you Google turnkey specialists.
Okay.
We do have a website right now, and it's fully automated as far as you can see the pictures. You can see the stations that we have built, either from an EPC standpoint or a design standpoint, and all the applicable contact information
Okay,
is there
that's
as
cool.
well.
That's very important too. As well.
But the most important thing in my mind is that we are not just going to have a automated presence, if you will, via the internet or email or things like that. We are going to have an actual physical presence in the Pittsburgh, Ohio area, which is going to mean a lot. Because from a professional standpoint, it's one thing to talk to somebody on the phone and communicate via email, but it's another thing to talk face to face.
So show up at somebody's door and say, "Hey, I'm here. Let's talk."
I'm not just here from an automated standpoint. I'm here from a physical standpoint,
Absolutely.
a physical presence, and I think that's going to mean a lot, and that's going to mean a lot to the growth of the company as
It
well.
really is. It really is. So, well, David, thanks for joining us today, and I appreciate all the information that you shared with us. And for more information, visit us at eidohio.org. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.